Hey guys, so we're just jumping right into the video. I am using my BECCA First Light Priming Filter and rubbing that into my face. This primer gives you a nice luminous glow. Then I'm taking my NARS Pore and Shine Primer and I'm just putting that in my T-zone area where I get oily. This helps control the shine throughout the day. Then I'm just taking my beauty blender and some MAC Fix Plus and I'm spraying that. I am using my NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in the color Stromboli today. This is currently my favorite foundation. I just love the finish it gives. If you're super oily, I recommend staying far away from this. Then I'm just taking my BECCA Aqua Luminous Concealer in the color Medium. I love this concealer. It's lightweight, but it gives a little bit of coverage. It's just unfortunate that their shade range isn't that great, but I hope they extend that eventually. And I'm just taking that down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, and my cupid's bow and chin. And then just taking my beauty blender and blending that out. My Cover FX setting powder and setting that underneath my eyes. I love this powder just because it's talc free, so it's a little less harsh on the skin as opposed to the Laura Mercier one. Don't get me wrong, I love the Laura one, it's great. I'm just loving this Cover FX a little bit more. Then I'm taking my favorite Chanel bronzer and stippling that into my skin. Like I've said 1,000 times before, I feel like it just gives you the most natural looking tan ever. I wish Chanel would come out with this bronzer for darker skin tones because I feel like everybody should get a chance to experience this cream bronzer. I truly stand behind this product and I definitely think it's worth the price. Then I'm taking my BECCA Sunlit Bronzer and Bronze Bondi and just placing that over the cream bronzer. This makes it last all day and it also adds some extra warmth to the face. And then I'm taking my MAC Blush in Warm Soul. This is probably my favorite blush color ever, and I'm just putting that on the apples of my cheeks. I'm taking my Anastasia contour kit and I'm taking that middle shade in the light medium palette and just snatching my nose real quick. By the way, if you guys would like to see a video on how to contour your nose or just contouring in general, let me know in the comments down below. I'll definitely do that for you. Sometimes I like to contour in my cupid's bow and underneath my lip. Just makes my lip look bigger and the cupid's bow look more sunken in. Then I'm taking my NYX Concealer, HD Concealer, and I'm using that as my eyeshadow primer. And I am using my Sigma 3D HD Precision Brush to blend it out. I'm going to be using the CARLI BYBEL palette today, and I'm taking that bone color shadow and I'm using that to set the concealer. This is her first palette with them, by the way. I'm not sure if it's still available, but if it is, I'll link it below. Then I'm just taking that first mauve shade on the top row and I'm using that as my transition shade and I'm just blending that back and forth in the crease in windshield wiper motions and just adding up the color until I get the intensity that I want. Then I'm taking that second mauve shade and I'm using a Smith 235 brush, I believe, and I'm just putting that on the outer corner and a little bit in the crease as well. And I'm just adding up that color, and then I am also adding it in the inner corner because we're doing a halo eye and connecting it all through. Then I'm just doing the same thing on the other eye, adding up that color on the outer and inner corner, building it up until I get the intensity that I want. Then I'm taking that darker shade and I'm doing the same thing, just adding it on the outer and inner corner of my eye to add some depth and dimension. But this color you don't want to connect all the way through in the crease. And then I'm just doing the same thing on the other eye, taking that darkest purple shade and adding it up in the inner and outer corner of my eye. Make sure you do not put that in the crease. We just want the dimension on the corners only. And then I just take a clean blending brush and I go over everything to make sure everything's blended very nicely. Then I'm just taking that brown shade in the palette and I'm also adding that on the inner and outer corner as well to add just a tiny bit more depth to the eyes. Just make sure when you're adding that brown color, you just place it ever so lightly on those inner and outer corners. You definitely don't want to overdo it. Then I'm taking that pink highlighter shade and spraying it with some Fix Plus to add more intensity to it. And I'm just putting that in the middle of my eye and then going back in with that pencil brush and just meshing everything together. If you add a little bit too much or you lose some of that highlighter shade, you could just always go back on top over it again. Then I'm just taking that second mauve shade in the palette and I am running that underneath my lash line. We're basically using all the same colors that we use up top. Then I'm taking the darkest mauve shade and I'm taking that with a pencil brush and just putting that on the outer corner and extending it just a tad bit. And then I'm taking the second highlighter in the palette, which is like a nice light golden color, and I'm using that in my inner corner as my highlight. Super pretty. Then I'm taking that same shade and I'm using that as my highlighter. My camera died so you guys didn't see when I applied my lashes and put highlighter on the other side of my face. My apologies. I'm just putting that highlighter on the bridge of my nose, on the cupid's bow, and on my chin. By the way, the lashes I have on are the ARDELL DEMI Wispies. Then I'm just taking my Marc Jacobs Coconut Setting Mist and spraying that on my face to set my makeup. And I'll be using this MILANI lipstick. I totally forgot the name of it, so I'll list it down below. But it's a beautiful mauve shade. I love MILANI lipsticks. They're affordable and they smell really good, and the pigmentation is definitely there. And they're very comfortable on the lips. I kind of wanted to go for like a monochromatic mauve look. So this is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this look. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time.